Yglini versus Legorve Genine.
Yeah, and this is really interesting, not just because the players in Oak are shockingly good, like the players in Challenger, but because Legorve Janine is the last player standing who can finish with a perfect season. It actually looked like this was going to happen in several divisions. Through week 6, Pone Noob, Yeesh, Dowsy, and Legorve were all perfect. But then Yeesh drew Opie, Pone Noob drew Bananaconda, and then Dowsy drew twice to end the year, and now Legorve stands alone, the last chance, the last match for a perfect season in Oak. And this is not your season 2 Oak or your season 1 Oak or anything like that. This Oak is actually kind of scary. So this would be quite a feat. And of course, finishing perfect in any division, very difficult.
Oh boy. Do we have the picks and bans for this one?
I'm trying to pull those up right now. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And just again, I can't overemphasize hard to finish perfect in any division, but Oak is better than it's ever been, certainly. I mean, Manatters, for crying out loud's down there, and that guy's got thousands of games. He's rejoining, so he's an Oak. Legorve has just played really, really well all year. Has not been as tested as they could be. We remarked on the live cast against Manatters that they've just seen a ridiculous number of Civ shots in Oak. Just absolutely ridiculous. In the division, I think, it's like something like 62% of the time when Legorve has spied, a civilian has been shot. They have not had to click. That's insane. That's a grid spy win rate. Never mind spy win rate from just civ shots.
Yeah.
So Legorve has shown us a lot of skill, but they also haven't had to face too many really disciplined snipers so far, at least when they've actually played each person. It'd be interesting to see, though, what happens when they kind of meet that challenge and whether or not they can rise to the occasion and close out, again, the last possible perfect season of SCL 5.
All right, well, I've got the picks and bans underway. One of them messed up, so hard to know who picked what. I know what the 4 maps are, just don't quite know who picked what. But we
All right.
did have Balcony and Modern as the doubled maps.
Okay.
Oh god.
And then picking Aquarium to round out. So going for the really spy favored maps. For the person who picked Balcony, Aquarium, and then
I think that's Yglini.
my guess would be Yglini as well. Legorve has favored the 5/8, and then Legorve does end with Library. So that would be my guess. Hard to really know exactly, but that would be what I would think.
I think it's a good guess. Yeah, Legorve confirming it in chat there. So, geez, we're ready to go. This is it, guys. Last perfect season on the line for Legorve.
And we're opening things up in Balcony in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yglini starting things off on the spy side. Legorve, Genine on the sniper.
Neither of these players has played Balcony this year. Which means ever, because I believe they're both new to SEL. So they have never played competitive Balcony until right now.
31% on the first flirt is not a number you want to see, but the ambassador gets nice and snuggly.
Banana bread.
Contact comes off, but we're not able to hit the green, so we are... Looked like we were talking for it.
Pretty straightforward. The question is, how much stock do you want to put in talking for banana bread? Less and less as you rise through the ranks division-wise, certainly, because ATs correlate pretty highly with that, at least moderately, I would say. But every sniper's different. Some don't like banking on it because it's such a risk. Some bank on it quite a bit. Reasonable snipers do disagree on it.
Standard balcony setup. Early flirt, relatively early contact, stepping away and back in, round about a minute. And now we're just going to chill here next to our seduction target and see what we can do. 45 seconds, though, means we're not going to have time to timer this. Green flirt on the second one is nice to see. 82% means we're not going to have to panic on the last one. But the timer is not on our side here.
No, if the ST doesn't leave, you're going to have to leave yourself and come back, and it's going to be really suspicious, even though you don't need to stand that near them.
15 seconds. I don't think we have time for the timer flirt here. Should pop at like 2 seconds, I think.
Legorve does not generally shoot civs around 2% of the time. A third.
Oh, a bug at the end of the game! Yglini going for it all, but it's not quite enough. Legorve is on top of things. The shot comes off. It's 1-0 for Legorve Genine.
First game of this set, a lot like the last game of the last one. It's a spy having to rush late, a patient sniper forcing them to do something and taking the shot. 1-0 Legorve, 6 away from that perfect season.
That was a good bug, too.
Yeah, just a good bug, good catch. Good game all around.
Yeah, you can barely see the highlight clipping through the amber there, very slightly. Orange Dress's bug is really good.
Yeah.
Nice catch there by Legorve.
Yeah, very, very nice catch. And now Legorve is on the spy side of things. Yglini on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yglini's rates as sniper are almost identical to the Oak average in all 4 regards. Mission wins, timeout, spy shot, civilian shot. It's within about a percentage point in all 4 of them. So Yglini is actually kind of the perfect stand-in for the Oak sniper.
Look at this long distance first flirt hitting a green test for 33%.
Banana bread.
Now the contact comes off. That is a very strong start on balcony, because now we're going to step back into conversation nowhere near anybody else.
Yeah, that could absolutely help.
Attempted reverse drive-by bug doesn't take. That is a very bold move on balcony.
It absolutely is, but it also just wins you the game.
Another one!
That's one too many. It's like they waved hello at the sniper. They didn't see it, and they said, hey, bro, right here. Keep waving. I can understand the first one a little bit. Didn't seem to hurt them, but the second one is just a shot. And Bug Wars, Spies are 0 for 2.
Not usually what happens on balcony, but well, it's certainly entertaining. 1-1, Yglini back on the spy side of things, Legorve on the sniper in round 2 of Bug Wars in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Spies going for bugs, snipers playing exterminator. Both of them catch even pretty decent bugs pretty easily.
Banana bread.
Yglini opts to start with the contact instead of the flirt, and the seduction target steps away before we can get that flirt off.
And only lets off one low light there, but is also highlight for being one of the talkers during Banana Bread. And no flirt.
It's possible that it was supposed to have been a flirt, but got mixed up with action priorities. Now the flirt's coming off on a close white for 34%, but it's a little bit later than we'd like. Now stepping away from conversation, out to the front, to time ad, and then die.
I feel like the spies are overthinking things a little bit.
I think so.
Just
There's a reason why we don't like to cast balcony very much, and that's because the games are almost always the same looking. None of these have been normal balcony games.
No, balcony games are usually very cerebral. A lot of it happens in the sniper's head, right? The highlights and lowlights will get bumped up or down for very idiosyncratic reasons in the moment, and there's a lot of vagaries and a lot of feel to it, but not as much when spies are bugging and time adding left and right.
And it's not exactly working out. Legorve on the spy side looking to redeem the spy name. Yglini on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Let's see if we get a boring old balcony game here.
I almost hope we do.
Yeah. As a change of pace, let's just flirt and contact.
Yes. It's not a great start for it.
Reminder that seduce is oft.
Wait, what?
Oh my goodness.
What is happening?
Normally
Banana bread.
we remember to check missions on venues where they actually ever change. Is this the first balcony game we've cast all year without Seduce
That's
on?
another attempted reverse drive-by bug that doesn't take.
I mean, what are you going to do? It's either that or Fingerprint, apparently. Sometimes you get Fingerprint or Purloin on instead of Bug, but I don't think I've ever seen Bug contact Fingerprint competitively.
Jesus Christ. Okay, look. Legorve, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna keep doing this, don't make Taft the Amba. He's too fast. He's too fast to pull this off.
Meanwhile, we've got the contact, and we're waiting for, I don't know, a
There
bug
was another
attempt?
attempted reverse drive-by that didn't take. So far, Legorve has had 4 attempted reverse drive-by bugs on balcony and has been shot once.
I think reverse and drive-by are right, because it's like you're zooming by your destination, then you turn around and go back, throw it in reverse, try again. We'll get the bug eventually.
But the ambassador's not cooperating. He's not giving Legorve a 5th shot at it. 30 seconds left to play. Ambassador stepping away once more. Legorve is not in a bad spot if the ambassador feels like going all the way around, but there's not really a spot for him there. Just goes for the bug straight up. It's not a pretty one. The shot comes off. What just happened on this map?
What just happened? Our snipers are 4-0 because spies are getting too cute. There was a difficult fingerprint attempt on that drink. I guess if it'd taken, they might have tried to rush briefcase or something. I don't think that was going to work either, though. That bug was surprisingly not visible, but the timing and the decision and the crash is just reason enough.
Well, I mean, the arm wasn't visible.
Yeah, the smash into the ambassador was, though, and come on, you got to shoot for that. Yglini does, and they don't actually get anything out of their venue pick. It's 2-2. But they sniped well, at least.
Well,
and now we go to the opposite of balcony.
I admire the attempt, but you just picked the wrong ambassador.
You admire the attempt and the attempt and the attempt. Maybe you only admire 3 of those 4 attempts, let's say. I'm not sure all of them are admirable. Some of them were.
Well, Yglini, on the spy side, balcony was a bit of a wash. Let's try a bigger one. Legorve on the sniper side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And this is a very clear, clean, smart choice for Legorve. Legorve has won 8 of 10 spy games on Modern and is 10 for 10 as sniper.
Good gravy.
Yeah, Yglini has only played 16 games here, but 12% as spy, 50% as sniper. So it's a strength for Legorve, to put it mildly, and a weakness for Yglini. This is a no-brainer choice. I'm surprised it wasn't banned.
Well, Yglini opening things up with a time ad and then a 40% on the flirt.
I mean, the game is not totally won or lost on venue selection, although I got to say, high marginal diamond games definitely are sometimes. But in this case, it's really hard not to say that if Yglini loses this match and Legorve goes perfect, it's going to be because they made a major tactical error in leaving Modern open.
Yglini in conversation with the ambassador, but at a distance. Ambassador steps away, and double
That's a
agent
delegate.
takes his place.
Delegate to the Amba right there.
Yep.
Oh.
and-
Insta. That was
Yep,
crazy.
So what you're trading there when you delegate to a cast member is you're saying, I'm not going to have it down to a 50-50, but I'm increasing the likelihood that they're not going to notice right away when it's gone because they're less likely to be watching, the same way people are less likely to be watching when a low light picks up a pending statue swap. Stuff like that.
Especially this early in the game.
Yes, it's compounded. I like the move more when you do it like that early in the game, yes, because it's counterintuitive in 2 different ways now.
There's the purloin has come off.
How many low lights are we going to get? There,
It's a pretty good reaction.
There we go. This is way narrowed down. Even if they get no more, this is a win, given how early we are and the fact that it's just 1 mission on a 5-8.
2 highlights, 1 neutral light is all we've got left.
Yeah.
And we only have 1 mission done.
Yeah, and this is probably a really good. There's probably a really good chance too that Yglini is even top suspect among these 4 too, because you don't need to be cute. You don't need to low light everyone else. You can just low light anyone who you're sure didn't do it and keep an eye on everyone else who even theoretically could have. But usually you've got one of the 4 or 5 that you're more suspicious of than the others.
91% after the second flirt. Close screen on this one, but because of the distance last time, not quite able to get it done. But let's be honest, the missions are not going to matter. We're not going to complete here. We're either going to get someone else shot or get shot ourselves.
Yeah, and the others are the other quote-unquote suspect, potentially, by which I just mean non-lowlights, are not really doing anything. So Legorve seems to have total control of this party, as you'd expect. Again, they're 10 for 10 as sniper on Modern, and it's really looking like it's about to be 11.
Seduce is done. The
Banana
fake banana bread. The fake contact comes off, gives us another couple of lowlights. So 2 highlights and 1 neutral, but Yglini was not in conversation with any suspected double agents.
So there's
Other
no
people
reason to
were.
shoot. Yep, and that's the kind of thing you're going to notice and care about when you've already got it narrowed down. But Legorve is flashing off, maybe, I think, on orange
Was
dress.
flashing on rocker, it looked like.
I think that might be a lag in the replay because it's right next to a highlight, so that might have been the intent. It was a super quick flash, so I have to imagine it's the highlight next to her, at least intentionally.
I think you might be right, but with Yglini, back into statues now for the first set of inspects.
Doesn't flash on Yglini there, but does sort of hover the mouse over it a bit, so it's almost definitely one of those two. The question is, which is a bigger suspect? I think they've both been flashed on now.
Seems that way. Real contact coming off in conversation with the other highlight. Who gets neutral? Yglini is now the top suspect, can confirm.
Well, if you use the highlights for that, yeah. The highlights are actually a little hard to figure out right now. You can use them for all sorts of weird, goofy little things when you've got the party this narrowed down because memory is not going to be much of an issue anymore.
That is true. 45 seconds left to play. I think Yglini is going to try to finish, and that's going to be the death of her.
It seems likely, although we're going back to the exact same statue?
Oh, God, the pathing.
Oh, boy.
We were going for the briefcase. You see that? Like, get out of the way. Get out of the way, Teal. I need a shot here.
They were going back to the same statue, which is really interesting. I actually kind of like that move if they'd managed to actually hit it properly. But, yep, if you're already top suspect or one of two and you do something like that, that's going to be enough.
I think it might have been briefcase, but same statue would have been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, that's a win for Legorve on the sniper side. But now Yglini gets a shot at it. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
11-0 as sniper on Modern for Legorve now, and while it isn't perfect, like their season so far too on Spy, they are 8-2.
Very, very impressive stats. Opening things up at Blue Bookcase with the seduction target, picks up a flirt, covered by the drink, 34% on that.
And speaking
White
of covered
test transfer and immediately gets caught out by Yglini.
Look at how impressive
that
is.
Name so hard for me?
Well, it's just hard to say for anyone, really. But what's really impressive about that is that they catch the microfilm with a huge bar rush. Yglini highlight, I think, 5 or 6 people at bar because of that bar rush. And Legorve, like a pretty good spy, frankly, says, well, if they're going to be watching that, I'm going to go do something else. But Yglini, like a good sniper, says a good spy is going to do the counterintuitive thing and do something away from the bar. That's exactly what they do. They catch the animation and they stay even. Perfect season, not a foregone conclusion.
Very impressive stuff indeed. And now Yglini is back on the spy side. Might be a perfect season so far, is also perfect on the sniper side of this map so far. Yglini looking to smash those both in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Great point. 2 great perfect streaks could end in a way with one game. Legorve trying to go a perfect 12-0 on Modern this season.
Early swap!
That's gutsy. I admire the gumption. Maybe that's the kind of thing you do when you play someone who's been playing this well. You just go for it. A lot of aggression here.
Gets highlight for it, but it's hard to tell what the highlight's for. It could very easily be a rote statue highlight.
Honestly, the way snipers have played so far, it actually seems very difficult to imagine Yglini upsetting Legorve and winning outright, but it seems more plausible that they might actually force a draw because they have been all over them as Sniper, as that last game showed.
Yeah, she might just. She keeps playing like this. The swap has come off pretty clean, it looks like. No lowlights on the board. Two
And
inspects, and now picking up the first flirt for 28%.
And as I always like to say, if the Sniper doesn't react to something like a purloin or a swap, it could be because they missed it, and it could be because they're almost positive who it was, and they have no reason to tip them off with a lot of conspicuous laser movement getting those low lights. But in this case, I'm leaning towards got away with it.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we mentioned a counterintuitive purloin early in the game into cast, and now a counterintuitive swap, too, early on Modern.
And Legorve confirming it in the chat, got swapped to the same pattern as it was last game, so just second guessed his memorization. The swap is clean. We're 56% on the flirt. We've got 2 inspects under our belt and over 2.5 minutes to play.
It happens to the best of us, but I do actually think that the longer you play, the better you get at wiping that short-term memory after every game and starting over completely. Yeah, look at those flashes. It's on the Ponytail. And with a swap already potentially showing, then it's going to be really hard for them not to shoot now. Yglini just needs to not give the game away as Spy. They don't realize it, but they just need to not give it away.
Bit of a weird stop-in conversation on the way into bar. Does not get seen because Legorve has better things to be watching. Purloin goes off straight up.
And that will not make any sense if they were being watched, because the only conversation they were in right before that was, I believe, with a cast member, yeah? An SDA?
Yeah.
And here's the question. We saw in this earlier match, they were tunneling on Cowboy in an earlier match, but even after the Purloin, they didn't reconsider. If you've been tunneling on these two, if you've been tunneling on these two, do you reconsider? Ponytail gets knocked down, but Duke is still there. So what you're saying is, I had it down to these two maybe. I'm pretty sure one of them couldn't have. Who's that leave?
That leaves the Duke. Sitting there highlighting the same conversation as us. Low lights, low lights, low lights. There's 5 people left. I have no idea who that flash was on. Here comes the contact in conversation with Duke.
Couldn't be going better. They don't know Duke is a huge suspect, but that was perfect. No shot. Legorve is holding again. Just like on that balcony game.
3 characters. The shot comes off. Yglini has ended one streak and is looking for one more.
2 more games to end one more streak. Legorve is going to finish 11-on-1 on Modern. Falls to an aggressive early swap. That is their only Sniper loss on Modern this season. And now they got to try to get it right back, or the perfect season, the last perfect season in SCL5 is in danger.
Legorve Genine on the Spy side of things on Modern. If he doesn't win this game, he has to win out to keep the perfect season alive. Let's see if he can make it happen in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Legorve only lost their 3rd Spy game all season in the previous Spy game here on Modern. Again, just on Modern, that was 11 total. This is their 12th. Can they lose their 4th? Can Yglini put themselves up in a huge position to upset?
Big bar rush to open things up. Luckily, Legorve got in on the ground floor of it, so gets the drink relatively quickly.
Yep, and you can do this or not, but it's comforting to know that if they're highlighting for bar and they're not watching beyond that, that you're going to be one of maybe half a dozen suspects early on, even if it gets narrowed down perfectly. But it probably would, given those highlights.
Early flirt for 33% on the white test. Second target steps away right after, so no chance of a timer flirt. And we send someone else, a low light, over to the bar to delegate.
Oh, boy, a low light already. Let me see this here. Was that actually a misclick?
Well, either way, she's back up to neutral now. She's at the bar.
Okay. No, I think there's a misclick a misclick because Ponytail was walking right next to one of the cast members early in the game and got low-lit, so really
Everyone
good
comes
presence of
off. Here are
mind.
the lowlights. Oh, she knows.
I think
actually,
so.
neutral lights. No, it's just, I think, going around neutralating everyone.
Yep, doesn't make sense to use the highlights for bar anymore because the Purloin's gone, you've got it narrowed down. Now you want to use them for something else like Real BB or Inspects. Really
Down
good
to
awareness,
6.
though. Really good awareness to see Alice with the Purloin there, walking around and everything, and realize, oh wait, why on earth would I have low-let them already? It must have been a misclick, and they're right. It's because they were near that cast member. Bringing them back up obviously doesn't help in this case because they're not the spy, but that's actually a really good recovery on an early misclick.
Yeah, this is a very impressive sniper game right now for Yglini.
I mean, through the entire set, the snipers have just been on point. In particular, Yglini going toe-to-toe with Legorve, arguably the best sniper in Oak.
White test on the second flirt brings us up to 58%. That could come up to bite us later on. We're going to need a relatively close green to finish this off in 3. And we only have 2 minutes left to play with just the one completion. We do have progress on both the flirt and the inspect, but time is starting to tick down.
Yeah, this is already so narrowed down. That's the problem. Legorve, again, I mentioned, just so many civ shots in their match with the Purloin already showing and modest progress on 2 Softails. You wonder if the idea here is, I just think they're going to shoot at some point. It's not an unreasonable assumption.
Could be. In conversation with the double agent now, with a
Banana bread.
conversation full of lowlights. Contact comes off, more lowlights coming off, and it's down to 4.
Yeah, that is very narrowed down. And 2 people in particular, I think, got highlight for possible reels too. So Yglini is all over this. They have every piece of information tracked that they need to be tracking.
This is such a good situation for Yglini.
But
Under a minute for Legorve.
the problem is if that other top suspect of yours, if you get a little unlucky and they go statue to statue or something late, do you feel like you have to take a shot? What did you miss before the lowlights? That's the thing you have to say. Okay, I've got it narrowed down. I'm confident about what they've done since then because I'm staring at
Legorve
them.
might be doing it instead into statues with 30 seconds.
But you're not always confident about what they did before you got the party narrowed down. That's the tough question. But yeah, this is a second visit here. The seduce isn't done. You got to imagine it's going to be a swap and hope it's green into a flirt.
That's exactly what it is, and it is indeed green. The swap is on the table, 15 seconds to play. It's going to be an overtime.
Yep, they're going to have to run to get that flirt done.
Going to happen. Yglini doesn't take the chance. The shot comes off, and Yglini is up 5-3 against Legorve Genine.
Several chances now to ruin the perfect season thanks to some incredible sniper play and an aggressive spy move to snap their streak on Modern. 1 game away from breaking it. There would be, if Yglini can get 1 more win, 0 perfect seasons in SCL this year.
It's not match point, but it may as well be. Yglini now stepping into the spy side of Aquarium. Legorve Genine fighting to try to keep this streak alive in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh, if you're Legorve, you're thinking, I need to win 4 in a row to keep the perfect season going, to lock it in, really. And I have to do them all in Aquarium, where so many crazy things can happen, and no matter how good your sniping is, there are things you just can't see.
Big bar rush. Highlights coming off to track them.
We mentioned earlier Modern, such a weird pick to leave open, but oh my god, it's absolutely what might end up swinging this match. The numbers said Legorve, massive favorite, but only takes 1 of 4 after being perfect on a sniper and almost perfect as spy.
Yglini's still at bar, waiting for this drink. Not able to get in early enough to beat the rush hour traffic.
Yeah, that's part of the problem there.
Just takes the bug instead. As the shark goes by, we decide to abandon the drink and take the hardtail.
Yep, and because they never took the drink, they get bumped back down to neutral light for doing a hardtail. The feet were visible, but the arm was not, and you don't bug with your feet, so that's just free, and it's without the suspicion you'd have from other shark placements, because you don't really expect it there.
Back into conversation with the seduction target, hits a green up to 84%. This is a strong start for Yglini.
Yep, and now we're getting statue highlights, which is definitely a change of pace after that early rush. And frankly, if you can manage that, if you can shift up your highlights during a game like that as circumstances dictate, it's very impressive and very powerful. That's just excellent stuff coming out from Legorve.
Into statues next to the seduction target. There's one mission. There's two missions done. Bug and flirt.
And I don't think we're a
now
suspect.
getting a pair of inspects as well.
Yeah, I think even if we just do boring inspects and a decent banana bread here, I think we'll probably win, especially if we do the inspect sooner rather than later. There's still 2 minutes on the clock here.
Statue to statue. Goes for a swap. It's a white test.
What a weird, strange play. I actually feel like they were in a huge lead, and this is just such a risky move.
He got the red test on the inspect, so he's going to have to give off a bit of time for the reaction to come in. Sees the statue. No time to react to it.
That's it. No perfect season.
It's
That's
6-3. Legorve is no longer perfect in SCL.
Legorve, not just sniper wins, but spy sniper combined, won about 80% of their games this season, but has now lost 2/3 in this match. Yglini comes out swinging and lands 6 punches before Legorve can land 3. The swap was so surprising. I think they would have gotten away with just inspects and contact, but the swap is so strange and counterintuitive there. There's so much time left on the clock, and Legorve had spent so much time managing and switching their lowlights from bar to statue, and so many statue visitors. It just works in the chaos. Yglini does it. No perfect season.
But now Yglini has 3 match points to play with, starting on the sniper side of Aquarium. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, maybe when you started, they and we were concerned about the 6 wins. Maybe that's what Yglini was thinking, right? I want to stop that perfect season. That's what we were certainly focused on. But now, as you said, 3 match points to win outright and turn it from not only a non-perfect season, but not even an undefeated season anymore. Now Legorve needs to win 3 in a row here just to salvage a draw and stay undefeated in Oak.
The pressure is on. Yglini playing out of her mind tonight.
Well, you picked a good match for it, Yglini. You needed every bit of it tonight.
Takes out Green Book early on, in conversation with both the seduction target and the double agent. Hits the flirt first, just as the seduction target steps away for 34%.
And with that Green Book, it's either going to break up a flirt or that's going to get dumped. And with a fake, I feel like dumping makes
contact comes off, but the double agent stepped away before it happened, so that was a fake.
Yep. I don't think that was going to be the plan, but it actually works if you do want to dump the book, I think.
Doesn't look like Legorve does.
Now, I know we take the book outside on gallery to clean it. Can the shark clean it if they go over it a few times? Does it get cleaned if you just stand there for a while? Legorve says, well, we don't know what they say yet. They're going to get another flirt first.
We'll find out, and that flirt brings up to 55%. No completions yet, but Green Book in hand and half a flirt done. 2 minutes and 20 left to play. Attempted reverse drive by Bug does not take. This is not a conversation you want to be in. There's no one interesting here. 2 minutes now.
And now, if you put that book back, it's like, what was all that time for? Was it just an option? Maybe. But if you do put it back, you're also going to have to bring that briefcase back right afterwards, so maybe that works out pretty well.
Another attempted reverse drive-by doesn't take again. That's the problem with Taft as an ambassador. He gives you a lot of fingerprints because he moves around so fast. But it is hard to get a reverse drive-by bug on him.
It's a good thing for Legorve that Oak is over for now, because I think otherwise everyone in the division would go, well, I guess I should be watching for reverse drive-bys. They sure seem to like them.
Just goes back to green bookcase with it.
Minute and a half left. It's not too bad on Aquarium, but the Seduce isn't even done. There is going to be a microfilm.
Transfer doesn't get it behind the shark, but it's good enough.
That head was turned at the end, but Yglini's eyes, I think, were on that ambassador instead, as they usually are when the shark is over the ambassador. I think if the ambassador were in the middle conversation, Legorve gets killed for that or something, even assuming that it wasn't covering, of course. But the real thing wasn't the shark, because it was visible at the end. The real thing was the ambassador in a vulnerable position.
There's the bug finally coming off on stepping away from the conversation, getting the bug down while we're moving. Not behind the shark, but still a very, very good bug.
We're seeing
And
a lot.
Now we're at 89% on the flirt.
We're seeing this more, Tobo. We're seeing bugs that are not with shark cover, almost because people aren't expected to get them there. It's kind of interesting, the kind of the meta that's going on with bug.
The shot comes off. Legorve, I don't think, was going to finish. There were only 20 seconds left.
No, not even close. And that's what we've seen all year, right? Civ shots in Oak when Legorve is maybe not that close to countdown. One thing that's interesting to me too, by the way, look at Yglini, look at this shot. They shoot someone for approaching statues, right? Completing inspects, understandable. But they shoot them before they even pick it up. There's time there. And given the state of that game, the odds that Legorve was going to go do something aggressive, maybe even just time out at windows, not bad. So if you wait the full 10 seconds there, it's whatever's going to happen, it's going to be 2 to 3 seconds to pick it up, 3 or 4 more to finish, and then 10 more after that. You're going to get down to 3 or 4 seconds potentially. Legorve's going to do something by then that might make you shoot them. There's no reason to shoot that quick unless you're worried about the shark coming back, and they had to go the entire length of the screen. Got to hold that shot.
Yeah, Disney was also out of conversation during the fake, so that's a huge
that too.
miss. Yeah.
That's even worse. Even if you assume, though, that they could be finishing, you were shooting before they've even touched the statue. Never mind on the inspects. Never mind waited for the 10 seconds. And in those 15 to 16 total seconds, the odds that Legorve was not going to do something obvious are pretty low.
And now we go to Library to finish this off. 2 more match points for Yglini to take down Legorve Genine. The previously perfect record has already been broken. She might still be able to knock him even further down, but it's going to have to happen on Library, and she's starting things off on the spy side. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yglini likes Purloin, completes at about a 57% rate. That's what I'd be watching for this game if I were Legorve, who has only played Library 3 times this season, but has won all 3 games.
Yglini opening things up at the green bookcase with the seduction target. 34% on a close white for the first flirt. Bit of bouncing in the traffic jam puts us at the window.
It's a pretty chill game so far. Just wasted a little time with that book.
Second flirt. This time a green to 85%. But yeah, Yglini playing this very slow, very patient.
And I don't think that's going to work against Legorve. We've seen incredible patience from Legorve already. They may bank on Civ shots, but they don't shoot Civs themselves.
Under 3 minutes now. Looks like Yglini's just sitting here waiting for a timer flirt. There's the cooldown. And there's the flirt done. That's 1 mission out of 5.
Slow progress, but it is one of the longer missions, so you can bang out a lot real quick here, especially given that double agent could happen at pretty much any time. This is as
Speaking of
quiet.
the double agent,
This is
double
quiet as
agent
an actual
Banana
library.
bread.
walks into conversation with us. There's the contact coming off.
Let's see how many lowlights we get here. 3, 4. That's pretty good, pretty good. And the double agent came to us, as you said, and suddenly there's 2 missions done with over 2 minutes left. Plenty of choices, and that's a fingerprint on the drink too.
That's pretty big. Always nice to get an early fingerprint.
Yeah, but Yglini has completed fingerprint only 2.7% of their games. That is minuscule. Everything else is at least 8 times that. So this would be very unusual for Yglini to complete here.
Under 2 minutes. Stepping into... I thought it was going to be statues, but she goes for the much bigger one instead. That thing's going to be hard to swap.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. No body block there. I don't think you can even lift it with those arms. Maybe Salmon. Maybe Salmon could lift it. Twin, I'm going to say not without some help.
Under a minute and a half. Time is really starting to tick down.
Legorve flashed there. I wasn't sure if it was on General or Twin. It looked like General, but it might have just been because they didn't want their laser on Twin.
Side statues.
That's a big choice and kind of a bold one with this little time left. And Legorve is staring at it, not least of which because the ambassador is right behind us. There's really not a whole lot of reason to look elsewhere here for very long.
I'm not really sure what the plan is here. We're under a minute. We have 2 completions. We have some progress, sure, but not enough. Here's the bug coming off, but it doesn't even take. The ambassador steps away before it can happen.
It was totally off screen. That was going to be free. You could have totally crashed, and then this game would have a totally different complexion. And now, are we going to get a Desperation Purloin? I mentioned earlier, Yglini, Purloves to Purloin.
I don't know if we have a choice, but I don't even know if we can get Toby in here.
Nope, you got to move. You got to go somewhere else where you can Purloin. I just don't think it's going to work here. What you really wanted was Ambassador to go to Statue so
There's
you
the
could do
bug.
both.
Under 30 seconds.
No reaction.
Under 20 seconds. It has to be an inspect swap.
Oh, that's brutal. We're going to have a wasted fingerprint. I mentioned they don't complete it.
And there's the swap first.
That's not the way you want to do it. They have so much time to see now.
5 seconds of overtime.
And as
it's
soon as
not
they see
going
it.
to even need to happen. He sees the swap, takes the shot. 1 game left to play. Yglini on the sniper side to take a win against Legorve Genine in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh, what a game. I think if they just managed to sneak out a fingerprint earlier in that game, or if the ambassador had been a little more obliging, they were going to get away with it. 2 bug attempts, and the second one connects. They were in position to do that, to hand Legorve their first ever SpyParty competitive league loss. And
Off
now
of
it's slipping
3
away.
spy wins, too.
Off of 3 spy wins against an 87% sniper, for crying out loud, by the way.
And now it's down to 1. Heartbreak strikes, but it's not over yet. 51% on the first flirt for Legorve Genine is the first step in a long road in the final game of this match.
Yeah, Yglini, you hate to say already happy with the result, but you have to be. It would be great, though. What a capper to the season to finish it out with an outright win against the top player in Oak. And Legorve, though, with that shot, though, by the way, 4 for 0 on
Time
Library.
adds at the back window. 1 green, 1 red.
And Toby was waiting there a very long time.
And the purloin.
That was really messy. 2
Banana
time adds,
bread.
one of them red, a long wait on the drink, then a white purloin, and I don't think it's seen. I can't believe they got away with all that. That was messy, to say the least.
Yeah, judging by what Yglini is doing with the laser, I think that was clean. That was Yglini's chance to win this game. Now that she's not found it, this is looking very, very good for Legorve.
Yeah, that was the whole game, I think. And that was basically 3 chances to catch it. That was a mess. But it all worked somehow anyway.
Contact done. Purloin done. Half a flirt done. 2 time adds. How do you bring this back as Yglini?
Well, I think you have to take some aggressive lowlights. You have to understand you're behind. If you really don't know who did it, you need to start lowlighting for more and more lenient things, and you need to make a hard assumption or two. maybe about like who goes to statues late or something like that. You need to make a hard assumption or two to winnow this party down. They've already done that a little bit with those 5 low lights, but it's not going to be enough if they're close to finishing. And Legorve is almost exactly halfway, 1% above halfway done with their missions.
Second flirt comes off to 85%.
And we got plenty of time because of those time ads.
Absolutely.
By all accounts, this match should be over, and Yglini should be celebrating the only victory over Legorve, but it isn't, and that fact alone means Legorve is in the driver's seat.
Still over 3 minutes to play. We're just gonna sit here and wait for the cooldown. No reason to do anything rash.
I'll say it again, 62%, actually almost 63% civilian shot rate against Legorve's Spy. And it's looking pretty likely here.
There's the flirt done. 2 missions to go. Picking up a fingerprint off of a drink as well, on a difficult at that. That's like unnecessary, but it's still very good.
Yeah, well, so this is actually a decent way to do it. Legorve probably saying, I really feels like a shot's going to come off here, and again, it's been happening to me all season, so why not? But in case it doesn't, what can I do? Try to get a boring old fingerprint now that the other Softail missions, some of them at least, are out of the way. You're not sure if you're a huge suspect for the Purloin, though. For all you know, oh, that's breaking a sip animation to talk instead to no end. I don't understand. There's no benefit there.
Off camera, though.
Yeah, but I don't think they know that with any confidence. Very strange choice. This is a messy game, but it's working out. A lot of stuff's off camera on Library. Legorve might be thinking I'm a huge suspect for the time ad and or Purloin. That would be a reasonable assumption. And I really want to avoid going to statues because that might be the shot prompt. So the fingerprint is a nice way to sort of have your cake and eat it too. Make a little bit of progress without necessarily forcing the sniper to shoot.
Go for the briefcase? Yeah, going for the briefcase. As the ambassador comes back around, that was fine. Even though it looked weird as the ambassador came back while we were going.
And here's the question. What mission is it going to be, and can Yglini realistically shoot for it? We know from the sniper's angle, it really doesn't look like they're onto the Purloin at all. But Legorve doesn't know
it's
that.
It's going to be a bug.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Legorve doesn't know that, though. They don't know what kind of suspect they are, which would explain why they would do something like bug instead of inspects, because they're really probably worried about going to statues. They don't know what kind of suspect they are. Again, they have every reason to assume they're a huge suspect.
Indeed. Ambassador on the other end of the map, so Legorve is really hanging around here.
I mean, they
by
just...
the statues.
I think they're thinking like the Smallman game in the Challenger match. I would really like to not finish, please, so that this happens instead.
Doesn't have to finish at all. The shot comes off. Yglini, it's still a draw against Legorve Genine, but it could have been so much more.
And look at that. Kane was at center statue late, and they just couldn't, I think, reliably see maybe whether or not the swap had taken place, and you have to take that ridiculously difficult shot sometimes. Could they be done? In this case, the sniper probably just a little lost after that Purloin. Legorve did a lot of unconventional things, we'll say charitably, but it all works. Oak snipers, good but not great. You can still get away with this stuff sometimes. That's been the story all season for Legorve. But Yglini does come away, breaking the perfect season streak. No perfect seasons in SCL 5.
That is still a hell of a story.
It's a hell of a story, and it's 3 straight wins from Legorve to avoid the loss at least, and they do go undefeated. No small feat even in Oak.